Hi everyone, welcome to week 5 of Cooking Matters. Today we're going to be doing a grocery store tour. Remember, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so just do your part and wear your mask when you go to the grocery store. So here is the fresh produce section where we have the apples. We're going to pan over to some vegetables here soon. And the great part about the vegetable or the fresh produce section is that you're really able to feel and smell also all the produce and really pick out based on your preference what type of fresh produce you want to use. And you can also most of the time pick out the amount you want. So, sometimes you can pick 2 apples versus picking a whole bunch. Then we here have some onions and garlic, and then we have some cheese selection, but this is not part of the dairy area, and then the deli. And now we're going to pan over to the breads. And this area is where you want to make sure you're choosing a bread that has whole grains and also a lower sugar content is important. Um, and when you look for a whole grain, you want to look for the whole grain symbol, but also look for the ingredients. And they'll specifically state whole grain made with like whole wheat flour. So here I'm holding some whole wheat bread, has the whole grain symbol there. And then I'll show in just a second the ingredient list. And the first it says whole wheat flour, and that's what you're looking for when you're looking. So now we're moving into our frozen section where we have our ice cream, and then we have frozen waffles, and then we'll also move into the frozen fruit section as well. We have our blueberries, and the frozen fruit is awesome because you can keep it for a long time. Then we're moving into our frozen vegetables, and those are the same benefit. They last a long time. You can use them for basically any recipe. They're great for soups, and they just last forever. And then we go into our canned goods. And if you want reference, just go back a couple weeks. I think the first week where I explained fresh, frozen, and canned foods. But just remember when you're shopping for canned foods, watch the sodium content. And if it's hard to find a lower one in sodium, just rinse off whatever's inside when you go to use it. And we're about to move over into our dairy section where we have the creamers, the milk, and just with it all, just watch the sugar. Make sure there's a lower added sugar content, and most food labels should show that now. But having a good amount of dairy in your diet is good. Like half a cup a day, I think, is what my plate recommends. Yeah, and then we have our eggs. Now we're moving into the cottage cheeses and yogurts, and yogurt is a great place where they like to hide added sugars. And they do a great job with their marketing, making it look like it's quote, quote, healthy, but it has loads of sugar. Remember, 25 grams of added sugar is probably a good amount to keep at your highest amount for the day. In just one serving, see, it looks like it would be healthy. It's got 12 grams of protein. That's great. Flip to the back. Sorry, I had to do this one-handed. If you flip to the back, it shows, I believe, 17 grams of added sugar. So a total of 21 grams of sugar. That is a lot. That's almost your whole day of added sugars in one serving.
And one other thing I wanted to touch on is the unit price, and this is important for getting the most out of your money. So you can see right here, this Bush's kidney beans cost $1 per can. Now you can see how much per ounce it costs. So one can is 16 ounces, and it's 6.3 cents per ounce. So per 1 ounce, you're paying 6.3 cents. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is sometimes you'll see another brand of kidney beans where it says um, it might be a different price, better or worse. Like it could be $1.10 or 78 cents, random numbers, but where you really want to pay attention to is because if this number looks cheaper, the $1, than the $1.10 can of kidney beans, you want to look over here and see how much you're paying per ounce. If this number is larger, you're ultimately paying more than this price right here because you want to get the most out of every penny. And then I have some key takeaways. So just remember to shop the perimeter of the store. Most stores, their produce, their meat, their deli, their just fresher foods, the dairy, are all on the sides of the store, the perimeter area. It's the less processed foods. But then when you're shopping in the middle of the store, so the aisle section, look for the foods that have lower sodium content, lower added sugars. A lot of our prepackaged foods are loaded with sugar and sodium. And also try to find canned goods that are lower in sugars or added sodium as well. And remember that buying pre-cut fruits and vegetables, while they're more convenient, they can be more expensive. I would recommend if you want that convenience, buy your fruit and veggie as a whole and then cut it yourself and keep them in containers in your fridge. That way you still have that convenience option. A little bit more work, but you still are saving money. Pay attention to the unit price that we just talked about. Buy in season because it's cheaper versus buying out of season. But if you want an out of season produce option, they usually, or not always, but sometimes they have it in the canned or frozen section. And canned foods can last between 1 and 4, up to 1 and 4 years, just depends.
So, hi, this is the voice behind the grocery store tour. I am Lauren. I should have introduced myself at the beginning, but I hope you were able to learn a little bit more about the grocery store and how to save money and really get every bang for your buck. And I hope you enjoy this week's recipe as well. Bye!